Good morning and welcome to the Caravan Company. This is a walkthrough video of how to operate this Swift Sprite Alpine 2. I'm going to take you around to demonstrate how the caravan works and hopefully answer any frequently asked questions that people ask on these particular caravans. So stepping towards the caravan, we've got a stabilised hitch. From Alco, we need to make sure that the tow ball is kept dry and is down to the bare metal and no rust is on the tow ball itself. By doing that, that will increase the friction because it uses friction pads inside, which will reduce the chance of snaking. We've got a 13-pin connector on this particular caravan. Looking inside the gas cabin, we've got our spare wheel, which is here, and space for 2 gas bottles. As part of this caravan, we've fitted one, which is a propane bottle, which is best used for all year round. To open the bottle, follow the instructions on the knob and turn it on, and you've got an inbuilt regulator just there. This cabin is sealed, so no gas can leak inside the cabin, but there are holes in the floor to allow any gas that comes out to disperse and drop. So please be aware of putting tiny items in this locker whilst travelling. As we walk around the offside, you've got the water heater exhaust and space heater exhaust. Just leave it to do its thing. The water pump plugs in here. It's a trimmer water pump. We put the submersible part, which is beneath that blue plunger there, underneath the water line first, and then we plug into the side of the van. It stops any air being brought into the caravan. Our battery and mains fits into this cabinet here. We've got our fridge exhausts just here, and then we've got our toilet just there. If I go through, in terms of the mains and the battery point, you've got your mains, which plugs in here, and you've got a little cutout so you can keep the door shut. You've got your battery fitted just here, and then behind the mains point you can see a red little key, which is this is the isolator for the motor mover. We only turn it on when we're ready to use the caravan mover, and we turn it off when we're finished, otherwise you'll have a constant drain and you'll flatten the battery. In terms of the toilet, the flush is filled by this tank just here. With the cassette, we lift the orange handle, we bring the grey cassette out, we bring the orange tube round. When we get to the emptying point, we take this grey cap off just here, and then we press this air button here, this orange button, which releases the air pressure. Once it's all rinsed off and you've brought it back to the caravan, twist that one round just there, like so, bring this one back, and the blue chemical goes back directly into there. It slides back into place and is locked in when you know that little knob is behind the ridge there. There is the option for a Thule bike rack to be fitted on the back as an optional extra. As we step inside, we've got the lights on and everything ready for the customer who's due shortly. So I'll just turn everything off and I'll turn it back on again and demonstrate it. So underneath the front offside seat there is an EC600 consumer unit. We've got fuses and we've got trip switches. When not using the van, there's a system shutdown button just here. We need to push it in to give us power. If this one lights up here, the red one, that means that the battery's been fitted the wrong way around. The charger is lit up because we're plugged into the mains, and this will also light up if you've got the right connections on the car to trickle charge the battery. And then we've got the electric isolator for the heating and hot water. Once we've got those on, we go up to this panel just here, and we're going to press the Swift badge until we turn on. We're going to press the home button, and we can then, as it focuses, we can turn on lights, we can turn on, and we can see the power coming in, we can turn on the awning light, we can turn on the water pump, and we can turn on the radio. And what you'll find, you've got FM, you've also got DAB. On this right hand side is how we're going to heat the room and the water. So to turn the panel on, we press it on here, and then where you see the icon highlighted flashing, that's the one that we're selecting. The first one is the temperature. Press the center button and you can slide it all up to 30 degrees. The next one is the water, and you can either have it on economy, hot or boost. Because it acts like a combi boiler, if you put it on boost, it will take power away from the heating of the room to heat the water quicker. The next one is the power source. We can have it on gas, a mixture of gas and electric with 1 kilowatt, then to 2 kilowatts, or you can have it electric 1 on its own, or electric 2. For today I'm going to put it on electric 2. And then you've got a fan setting here. And you can have it on economy or high or boost. Again, if you put it on boost, it will take power away from the water heating to be able to get the room warmer quicker. So we've now got heating in the room. We know now how to get the water hot. Underneath this front unit, there is the winter drainage valve, which is that yellow one just there. At the moment it's down, so any water coming into the van will go to the water heater or to the taps. When you want to empty it, all you do is lift it up. This side has got all the brains of the caravan, so we would recommend, whilst you can store things under here, be careful of what you do, because of obviously all the electrical items. And you can see, for example, the power touch control box in that corner. To the kitchen. To operate the fridge, we turn it on by holding this button in here, and we can then change the power source using this button just here. I've got it on mains because that's what we're plugged into. You can run it off the gas, you can run it off the car battery, and we can then change the temperature using this one here. When using the car battery, it will only maintain the temperature set prior to departure, so it would be advisable to have it turned on before leaving to cool it down. But please be aware that once the ignition stops in the car, where you pull over and you turn the car off, there is no power going through to the caravan. To open the fridge, push the little button in there, and as you can see, you've got plenty of space, and you've got your freezer compartment at the top here. At the back there is a label which has got the serial number on for this particular fridge unit. If you could leave that there for us, that would be handy, because if you need any parts there, that's the information we will need. With the hob oven and grill, you need to make sure that this lid goes fully up, otherwise no gas will flow through. And allow the unit to cool down again before putting that lid back down, because whilst it's toughened glass, if it doesn't, over time it will start to crack if it's still very hot when it gets put back down. In this cupboard here, you've got gas isolation valves, which are just there, and you've got what they are just located just there. In theory, you shouldn't need to touch them, but they are isolation switches. If you talk to any engineer and they ask you to isolate that, then you know where to go. In terms of the caravan, to make the front bed, we pull these slats all the way to the back, all the way down here, and then we use the cushions on both sides to create the bed. In terms of the windows and blinds, you can open the window fully and lock it off, or you can have it as a vent setting, just like that there. But please make sure when you are finished with your holiday and you're travelling away, all the windows are locked back down in that position. You've then got fly blinds and night blinds. Again, with the Hecky roof light, you can open it by pressing this button in and pulling this arm all the way back, and you can open it fully. You then got various vent settings, which you can see just there. But please make sure it's locked back into place when travelling away. In terms of the toilet, it's an electric flush using this button just here. This one will light up when it's time to empty the system, and that's done as you saw in the video earlier outside. This grey catch here, when you're using the toilet, needs to open towards the wardrobes. Use the flush to get it all into the cassette, and make sure you lock it back into that central position when you're finished with the toilet to stop any smells coming back through. It also needs to be locked in that position when that one there lights up, because that shows you when it needs to empty, and if it's not in that position there, you won't be able to pull the cassette out properly. In the wardrobe, you've got a multi-directional aerial, which is just here. With any aerial on any caravan site, you will need to retune it every time, and there is still some issues in certain areas of the country in terms of coverage, so please make sure you've got plenty of DVDs as well to be able to entertain yourself while on holiday. You've then got your washroom sink with storage underneath, and your shower with the riser and head just there. The big thing about the shower is this little catch just here. What it does, it keeps this door from moving when traveling. So always make sure it's locked into place. So if as I try and move it there, it's not going anywhere. By locking it behind that cassette, that unit there, it will stop it rattling around and breaking. So that's the inside of the caravan. I'm just going to show you the motor mover, and then if there's any more questions, we can go from there. To operate the mover, we need to make sure that we put this red key in and twist it on. I'm going to put the camera down for a second. We then engage the motor mover by twisting the arm all the way over until we hear it click. Like that. And then we can then turn the remote on by pressing the two green buttons, and you see it counts down to 1. The outline of the caravan should match, and then when you press a button and release the hand, once you've released the handbrake, you can see it starts to move. One button at a time, and you can take it wherever you want. So that's the Sprite Alpine 2. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.